First of all, I'd say something to everyone.
Wa alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sallallahu alaihi wa sallam. Muhammadin wa ala AhlulBayt at-tayyibin.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
For those of you who don't know what my topic is tonight, I have two speeches lined up. They're both about prayer and the importance of prayer. Now, again, before I start, I'd like to just say that if at any time you feel tired or you want to go rest or so on, we've got a long day tomorrow of activities, please feel free. I won't be offended or anything, okay? We're all brothers here. Just feel free to be relaxed on this event. But as long as you guys want me to talk and answer questions, then inshallah, I'll be happy to do that. As we heard from Brother Amir at the table, he said very rightly that it was one of the Imams, and if I remember correctly, it was Imam Hussein alayhi salam, that not only was his companions killed and martyred for his prayer or wounded while he was praying, but so many times in the event of Karbala he mentioned prayer, and he put prayer first before fighting, before defending, and he said that this is the reason why we are here. This is the reason why we are even at war, because of this prayer. If we leave this and we fight them and we put the salat aside, oh, we've still got time till Maghrib, we can pray Zuhr and Asr later on, then there would be no reason for him to be there. It would have all been in vain. So we see that prayer is extremely important. Now, being at university, being at university, we're all there, or we've all been there, you find that sometimes praying is difficult. Like, I remember when I was at school, secondary school, we never used to have a prayer room. And it wasn't until, say, year 10 that me and my friend approached one of the teachers, and the religious education teacher, and we told him, look, we need someone to pray. Is it possible to use your office? And he said, sure, no problem. Now, why I bring this up is because so many times there isn't the facilities. We have to find a way to still have that prayer, to still fulfill our duties to Allah. Now, many people at work, they say, oh, I've got 1 hour lunch break, I can't go and get lunch and fit my prayer in and be back on time. It just doesn't work. So what do? I've heard this from a lot of people. They actually leave their prayer and they say, I'll pray when I go home. I say, but brother, you get the underground, sometimes you get home late, sometimes it's, it becomes qada. They're like, oh, it doesn't matter, I do the qada when I get home. As in, it's that light to them that whether I pray or not, if I do it, good, if I don't, then I'll do qada, so on and so forth. Now, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, there's a narration from him that he says, prayer is to faith as the head is to the body. Now, you may say, okay, we've heard so many things like this, but when you look at it, when you analyze it, what does he mean, the head is to the body? Why didn't he say, for instance, okay, prayer is to faith as the leg is to the body, or as the arm is to the body, or the hand, or the eye, or the ear? Why? Because so many times you see people who are wounded, they don't have a leg, or they've had their arm amputated, or they're blind in one eye, or they're deaf, but they're still living, right? They're still making use of their life. But when have you ever seen someone walk around in the streets without a head? This is how serious it is. He's saying that if you do not pray, if you do not keep up with your prayer, you're basically a dead man. Dead man walking, as they say. Dead man walking. That's what it is. Now, it's this same Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, that once someone came to him in the mosque and he was praying, he'd finished his salat, and the man approached him and said, Ya Ibn Rasulullah, can I have an istikhara please? The Imam turned to him and said, can I ask what it's for? The man said, oh, it's just something, I just want to do an istikhara, me and my friends were debating something, and I just need an istikhara. The Imam said, you do know that before istikhara, there is something called consulting your intelligence, and then consulting those around you. You can't those who just go into istikhara for no reason, without actually thinking about the mas'ala, like, okay, should I do this? What good will come from it? What bad will come from it? You get some people that just do it blindly. It's dangerous like this. Allah will never give you a proper answer because He's told you, first consult your app and then consult those around you. If you still can't come to a decision, then do istikhara. However, some people, they don't even believe in istikhara. They say, oh, you know, it's got a sell-by date. If you do an istikhara, then 2 days later, if you do it again, it might come good. Oh, it came back now, okay, I'll do it in about an hour's time, maybe it comes good. So they mess around with the istikhara. Put that aside anyway. I just want to say that istikhara is something real, but we cannot mess around with it. We cannot take it lightly. He comes to Imam Sadiq alayhi salam and he says, can I have an istikhara? He says, sure. He does the istikhara, he says, it's extremely bad. The man says, okay. He thinks a bit and he says, okay. He goes home. On the way back, he reaches his house and his friends are sitting there. He says, so what did he say? What did he say? He said it's extremely bad. His friends, oh, what a load of rubbish. Come on, come with us. Now, where they were going was on a business trip, right? They were going to leave the city for a couple of days, go on a business trip, and basically sell some material, buy some material, try and make a profit, and so on and so forth. So his friend said, oh, forget istikhara. What do you mean istikhara? You open a book and it tells you what's good, what's bad. What's that rubbish? We're going to be going in 2 or 3 days' time. Maybe it was bad right now. We'll wait for 2 or 3 days, so come with us. He said, okay, fine, you're right, let's do it. Anyway, he goes on the trip. He sells his material for such a great price. He buys other material that he can then sell in his city for extortionate prices. So the guy makes a killing, absolute profit. Never made a profit like this in his life. He goes back, and his friends are like, see, we told you it's a load of rubbish, you know, what's all this istikhara, look at this, you've never made a profit like this in your life, you know, you should give some to us, you do commission and this and that. He goes, I'm baffled. I don't understand why the Imam, with all his knowledge, infallibility, and then the Quran from Allah, to give me such a wrong answer. They said, look, don't have sleepless nights, just go and ask him. Go to Imam Sadiq alayhi salam and ask him. So the man approaches Imam Sadiq alayhi salam and he says, Ya Ibn Rasulullah, remember I came to you a couple of days ago and I asked you about an istikhara. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says, yes. He says, remember what the answer was? Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said, yes, it was extremely bad. He says, okay, that's funny because I did it. I went on the trip and I had never made such a profit in my life. Never. So explain it, I don't understand it. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam looked at him and he said, look, my friend, the problem with us is that we think profit and loss only ever exists in the financial market. When it comes to the economy, we make a loss, we make a profit. He goes, I ask you, on this business trip that you were away for 2 or 3 days, did anything happen where, for instance, you didn't fulfill a duty of Allah? The man thinks and says, no, we did everything. We went normally, we came back normally, everything was fine. He says, no, think. So the man thinks a bit and he says, it's not Ramadan for me to miss my fast or to do something. The Imam says, think. He says, yeah, you're right. Basically, one morning I woke up late and I missed my prayer, my salat al-subh. The Imam says, okay, did you do the qada? He said, as soon as I got up, I did the qada. As soon as I got up, I was, upset. I just quickly did it and I was like, oh Allah, please forgive me. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam turned to him and said, do you know what you lost? The man says, no. He says, even if they were to give you the whole world weight worth of gold coins, as in you take the whole world, put it in a scale, and then pour a whole lot of gold coins in another scale until it weighs down, even if they gave you all those gold coins, and you spent all those gold coins in the way of Allah, you would not have got the sawab of one of these rak'ats from this 2 rakat salat that you missed. One rakat. He didn't say the whole prayer. He didn't say 4 rakats. He didn't say a whole night of one rakat. The whole world to become gold coins. And then the man realized what he means when he said it's very bad. Because this loss was not a financial loss. It was something more deeper, something more important. It was a spiritual loss. Now, I want to introduce all of you to a friend of mine, and he's with us. You may not be able to see him. His name is Valhan, as hadith have it. They've been rated. His name is Valhan. He's one of the, what we would say, the children of the devil. Okay, now why I say he's a friend of mine is because I'm very acquainted with the devil. I have a lot of, friendship with them. And basically this Valhan, his sole priority and job. You see, I just want to open brackets here. A lot of us, we think we have to be excellent at everything in order to progress in life. In order to progress, to make ground, we have to be good at everything. The devils don't work like this. The devils, they all have a responsibility. And they only work for the responsibility. For instance, you've got devils that the responsibility is only to stop you from going to Hajj. That's it. So when you start saying, oh, I want to go to Hajj, let me take my passport and hand it in, he'll come to you and say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, don't worry about it now. There's a long time, there's 3 months left till Hajj. So you say, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. His job is solely to stop you from going to Hajj. Once you're in Hajj, his duty is now, he's failed. Someone else comes, another devil. His duty is to mess up your Hajj while you're there. To make you swear at someone, to make you push someone, whatever. To make you, instead of throwing a stone at stone at the devils, to throw a stone at someone's head for pushing you, As in, this is what he will do. Or for you to see a bug and go, boom, This is his sole job. Just when you're in Hajj, to make you mess it up. For when you're there, oh, look at that lady, or for the lady to say, look at this man, he's, ihram, 2 towels and blah, blah. Do you see what I mean? That's his sole job, yeah? Now, this Valhan, his sole job is to stop you from praying. As in to annoy you, even if you do pray, to make you mess up, to make you think of something else. Anything but the prayer. And that's why they're so good. Because they never overstep each other's mark. Now if I had a duty to, for instance, set up the camcorder, and then go and cook the lunch for everyone, and then start up the activities, we'll never get anywhere. We'll all be sitting here smoking shisha, our eyes will be as red as Ali's. So, I won't let you go about that. So, this is how it works. Everyone has a duty, and they don't his turn's coming, don't worry. They won't overstep the marker. They will only work in their limits, and they will work their hardest in their limits. Once it's out of their hand, once they failed, leave it. It's someone else's duty. Let me work on that person now. This is how they work. So Valhan, he is so, what we say in Iranian, porru, as in he's so arrogant and full of himself that he would even, let me ask you a question. The imams, the prophets, were they infallible?
Yes.
Of course. So can they sin?
Yes.
No.
Yes. They can sin.
They can sin. Do they sin?
No, they choose not.
Okay, so they choose not to sin. So even if the devil was to approach them, and he knows they're not going to sin, isn't it a waste of time? Isn't it like someone's not going to listen to you? You go to someone, oh please, can I borrow some money? You've gone to them 1,000,000 times and they've turned you away. This Valhan knows Imam Sajjad alayhi salam. This hadith about Imam Sajjad alayhi salam. He knows Imam Sajjad alayhi salam. Imam Sajjad, Zainul Abidin alayhi salam. Yet what he would do is when Imam Sajjad was praying and he'd go down for sujood, Valhan would whiz in and out of his legs, through his arms, do all this in front of him, Mexican wave and so on, just to make him throw his, concentration, to look around, oh, what was that? As in, he was so arrogant that he would even approach the Imam. Now you think he's not going to approach me and you? Where are we? Where's Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam? So he will approach us, definitely. That's why we have to know how it works and how to kind of defend ourselves. Now, it works like this. I'll throw this in as well. It works like this, that once there was this alim, right? He was a student. And he had a very high position, but his teacher was even higher. A very great ayatollah. And he sees a dream one night. And he's walking, it's all cloudy, it's all foggy. And he hears these noises, like chains coming. Chains picking up, smashing metal. He walks through the fog and he looks and he sees like a figure in the background picking up different kinds of chains. One is big and heavy, another one is thin, another one's a piece of rock.